day.
Um, it was okay. Work was a little weird, in all honesty. Like I felt like I was like wading through water in a sense, just because here in America, like we have a long weekend because it's a national holiday on Monday. So I was just like I wasn't really feeling work.
So you're already like in holiday mood.
Yeah, and it was just I had like a lot of stuff to do, but I just didn't. I wasn't feeling it. Like I couldn't find the motivation to do it because there was a lot of.
So you had to dig. You had to dig deep
I
today.
did.
Just
I had to like realign and recenter myself because it was just there was just a lot of things to do and no
damn.
motivation to do so.
How about you, Justice? How's your Friday?
It's good. I took a nap after I got home from work today.
I like your shirt. What does it say? Nan no kyo. Huh? No kyo? Coca Cola. Coca Cola. Oh, where did you get that shirt?
I got it in Chicago, at the mall. They just
Oh,
randomly had like Korean shirts.
like the fashion outlet?
Hmm?
The fashion outlet in Chicago?
I think it was just like whatever that big mall is. The one that's like the largest mall in uh, Chicago. It's like the
Yeah.
Midwest. It's got like
I
a
yeah.
world record or something per square foot or something.
It is a pretty big mall. I
And
actually
Okay.
and
went there.
and we're not gonna let this pass. We're gonna talk about Nici's shirt, which is a Stussy shirt, which is really really popular. It's really like Korean people are so into it. Like the brand of Stussy is like always sold out. So it's either you wait for the restock of original Stussy, or you just go for the class A fake ones that's like online because it's
Oh, I thrifted this one actually.
I this is fake. I got this from a shop, so I'm proud to be using a fake Stussy bag. So we gotta make things work. So okay, hi guys, welcome again. We are welcoming everyone to this episode of the K-pop podcast. I am Polly, your host, and again, we are welcoming everyone on the Jan app. That's double J, double A, double N. If you guys want to socialize with other people who are interested in sports, K-pop, or anything under the sun, we are highly encouraging you to download the Jan app. You will meet other people from other parts of the world, get to socialize, get to interact. You can set up your own room if you have your own hobbies, your own interests that you would like to share to others. Invite your friends over, and then don't forget to give your invite code on your profile when you download the Jan app, and then give it to your friends so that you could earn credit points. That you can use in the Jan app store, Jan app. We have our own store, right? Like an own universe things where you can purchase using the credits. So you can use those credits there. And again, we would like to thank Jan app for giving us this platform to share our thoughts, our opinions and stuff. So anything that we say on this podcast doesn't necessarily reflect that of those who are in the Jan, company. It's our opinion. It's our self. What our take on the matters that we will talk about. So to start our conversation, I just want to ask you guys both. Maybe Justice first. What was your first K-pop song, and like, how did you get into K-pop?
My first, well, see there are two answers. The first answer is Valenti by Boa, and that was whenever I was in like middle school, and I didn't know it was K-pop. I didn't know about Korean music. I just
Oh.
thought it was foreign music, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I didn't think much of it, but I don't know. I used to be a bit closed-minded when it comes to my music tastes. I only listened to like music from an older time period, and it was like all hard rock and heavy metal stuff, and I didn't really feel like there was any good music coming out these days. But in 2018, my friend showed me a stage mix of Yes or Yes by Twice, and at that moment I was like, hold up, there is good music, and it's just not from America. It's just from Korea, and I was really impressed. And then as soon as that video ended, my friend looked at me and he was like, waiting on me to say something snarky or something. But I was like, I like a lot about this. And after that moment, I started learning all of their names, and then I listened to nothing but Twice for like a month straight.
So the two K-pop groups that got you was first was Boa in 2000 blah 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 and Twice in 2018, right?
Yeah, there's more than a 10-year difference in between me hearing, and I think I heard some Girl Generation from like early YouTube.
But now you're a little bit like up to date with the things happening with the fourth generation. Are you like,
Right. I listened to all the new releases from most of the girl groups and a lot of solo artists. I like some K indie, some K R&B, a little bit of hip hop, but mostly my favorite is like the girl group style.
okay? How about you, Nisi? When was the beginning of your K-pop journey?
Oh, I think, well, my first exposure to it. So I grew up watching a lot of like Filipino shows,
Uh
and
huh.
one of the big ones was ASAP.
Yep.
And I distinctly remember um the Wonder Girls going on there, and even 21 as well. I remember them performing their debut on ASAP, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know it was K-pop. Like just like Justice, like I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that there was like a performance going. Um,
Oh
but
yeah. So that's like
when I
2009, 10. That period.
yeah,
Uh huh. Uh
that
huh.
and then around when I first started college, my friends were really into like anime and K-pop, and they kind of like locked me in like their common room in our dorms, and they're just like, this is what K-pop is, and like these are like the groups right now. And so that was like in 2017. So I think my first encounter, the one that really stuck out to me and was like stuck in my head, was Just One Day by BTS. And so then I fell into a rabbit hole right before their spring day comeback. Um and so yeah, the rest is
Haruman
history at that point.
was 2014, right?
Hmm?
2014. Just one day. Haruman, right?
Yeah, it was like 2014,
Yep.
but I didn't see it until like 2017. But even then, like the YouTube algorithm was a little weird. I had like a hard time finding it just because one, I didn't know any Korean at that moment. Two, uh, the titles in Korean slash English, and I couldn't figure it out. So it was very interesting. So I wrote like BTS chair dance because I remembered the choreography.
Yep. They were using like school armchairs
Yeah.
for the choreography, if I remember. And fun fact, like when I went to Korea in 2014,
Hmm.
so the group that I really wanted to see was this group called Speed. Please don't be confused
Mm.
with the girl group Speed in Japan and the drug Speed. It's just Speed. Their name is Speed. And what do you call this? So I went to the recording, blah blah blah, M countdown. So we were waiting outside the studio. So I was like, yes, the first K-pop group that I'm gonna see in Korea is the group Speed, the group I want to see, right?
Mhm.
But BTS ruined everything because BTS passed by. They We were waiting in front of the recording studio, and then BTS went out because it was their turn before ours. So they
Mhm.
went out wearing the school uniforms. I think they performed One Fine Day, or it's either One Fine Day or they were still promoting No. So either
Mhm.
of the two, but they were wearing the school uniform. They're like, 안녕하세요 BTS입니다. 잘 부탁드립니다. 안녕하세요 BTS입니다. It's like they know we're not their fans, but they're still like, like being
Mhm.
respectful and being and bowing like 90 degrees to us. And I was like, who's this boy group? It was like, who's this boy group? And then they went down, but they were smiling at us. They were bowing because like they could have just like walked past because like we're not their
Mhm.
fans. They know that because their fans already went out. But that was I was like, oh crap! The first K-pop group I ever saw that I was in Korea was BTS, and I wasn't even like a fan, and I wasn't even expecting it. So that was a good memory, and I'll never forget that. But yeah, BTS is actually like the group I've seen so many times in Korea, and they're the group that I
Mm.
kept on seeing even though I never planned it. It's funny when I
That's
when
really interesting.
yeah, it's like oh. Well, I was pre-recording with Victon, so Victon, the boy group of
Mm.
Sungwoo, Byungchan. And
Mhm.
I didn't know we were pre-recording it with BTS. So we were with Army inside the studio, and we were like 100 versus like 300 people. It was funny because
Mhm.
like, and then I got to see BTS on stage, and they were so funny before recording. Like RM literally like unbuttoning all of Jungkook's shirt, and his fans were like screaming because they were doing fake love
Mhm.
promotions. And then I think before like the recording, they were on stage just like goofing around, blah blah blah. And then they were like, "Oh, is Jungkook's abs ready for like the fake love? That part." And then RM just proceeds to unbutton all his shirt, and then Jungkook was so surprised, and then he had to like hover, and all the fans were screaming so hard. I was like, "Wow, crazy! That's crazy!" And I'll never
It
forget
happens to
them.
me all the time.
Okay, so are you guys aware of NCT as a group, right?
Mhm.
So NCT was this project group that started 2017.
20,
Yeah,
2016.
2016. As early as 2016, they were SM rookies way before, right?
Mhm.
So I wasn't like a big fan, but I was like, oh, because it's the next thing after EXO. So you were really like looking forward to this group, and then
Yeah.
what was the first group that debuted? NCTU, right? And it's NCTU with Six Sense. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was Taeyong, Mark, Jaehyun, Doyoung, and Ten
and
as
Tae
like the
and Tail.
as uh, Tae didn't show up until I want to say not until they released Boss, right?
But Tail was the main vocal of. Anyways, there's so many things. There's like these groupings that
Yeah,
oh on this song this member is part of this group on this song, but on the next
yeah,
comeback with this group name he's not part of this song. I'm like,
yeah. There was like
okay,
no fixed.
sure. The
Yeah.
fixed one for me maybe was NCT Dream was the fixed.
Mhm.
That's the only fix. Was like, oh, they're like the youngest members, and Wavy was because they're all the Chinese members.
Yeah.
But like Dream and Wavy are the fixed ones, and then the others had like this rotation, confusing.
They were
Uh,
like conditional in a sense, except for Mark. Mark was always in every
Mark
single
was in
group.
everything, and then when Mark graduated from NCT, I was like, NCT Dream. I was like, okay, he graduated, but then they were like, no.
No.
And Mark was like, okay, you're back in NCT Dream. So I really don't know what's like the decision making process in SM when they make those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why we are on this talk right now because I'm like they
Mm.
debuted Sungchan and Shotaro with
As I think like the
127.
22nd and 23rd member.
Yeah, they were added during like the NCT. Is it the boss area? What?
No, they debuted 90s
Nineties
Love.
love. Yeah, I know nineties love. Right, 127.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, yeah, they had chemistry with the group. It's okay. And then they did like the what was like the song for all 23 of them?
Was it? Was it Resonance?
Yeah. Resonance. There were like two songs that all of 23 of them were
Yeah.
there. And then I was like, oh, okay, so this is like their peak as
Mm.
23 members, but then the Lucas thing happened. So for Justice who doesn't know what happened with Lucas, Uh,
Thank you for filling me in.
yeah, Lucas was a member of NCT. He is a Chinese member, and then like there was a news where fans said like, "Oh, I slept with him," and like he's like a fuckboy, which is like for me as an he is a consenting adult. He's like 2021. I
Hmm.
don't know when that happened, but if he's a fuckboy, that's fine. As long as he should have kept it in the down low, or like if he's gonna like do it with his fans, at least do it. Spend it one night. Tell them the conditions. Have like you know what do you call this? An NDA, whatever.
Mm.
Because like sleeping with fans is not something new. It happened like way back with the Beatles and like the beat and those crazy times when groupies would follow their band. So like it's nothing new. It's just like maybe an idol life is a different level. But if you're gonna do it with your fans, just make sure you keep it on the down low. Make sure you have an NDA. Make sure it doesn't go out. But like what happens, like it got out, and then there many girls like said they slept with him, blah blah. So he went on hiatus, and I think how many years passed before they released this recent like, oh, he's leaving Wavy, blah blah. Is
He was
it?
definitely like at least a year. He was just like
Yeah,
locked up,
it was like a
but
year
not
and a
like
half
literally.
in a
He wasn't locked
dungeon
up
in
literally.
SM, or
So
I
which
don't
unit is he in
So
NCT?
he's in NCT
you
U, and
one
then
two
he's in
seven,
Wavy
and he's also
Oh, okay.
in
Super M.
Super M. Yeah, so because he can speak good
Yeah,
English, he really has
yeah.
good visuals. He's funny, blah blah blah.
He was a Wavy representative for Super M.
He was like a giant dork. So
I'm new to NCT, but one of our friends that we met on John recommended a few of their songs. So looks like I started with NCTU Make a Wish.
that's a
I
good
think
song to
that's the
start.
self-titled birthday song.
Don't listen to
I
the English
listened
version.
to
Do not.
Oh, I forgot NCTU. Shotaro was also in birthday, so.
Yeah, he was.
Kick
Uh-huh.
It, Vampire, and Boom. That's all I've heard so far.
Vampire is for the most part really good. The choreography trips me up just a little bit. It's a little weird. Um, I highly recommend a lot of their like B sides. Empathy 2018 as a whole. The songs are good, but the album itself, like if you think about it as like an album, it's kind of whack.
Mm.
Because like there's like no continuity or consistency, and that's like one of the biggest issues with NCT is that like it's all over the place. Like even just like me and Paul V like explaining, oh, were they in this unit or this unit. It's just like a mess, and I have my own gripes about SM with NCT. But when I saw the the post about Sungchan and Shotaro, I was just like disappointed but not surprised.
Disappointed but not surprised because we know SM. We know SM
Yeah,
by now. That they make this like
yeah,
crappy ass decisions that has no basis. They don't consult the fans. They just like, oh, here's a decision. Deal with it. I'm like,
yeah. They're like, for me, SM is like the biggest gatekeepers of talent. Like they'll just continuously collect these like very promising trainees, like dangle right in front of them their debut, give them like just a little taste of it, and then just pull the plug right from like right in front of their eyes, like pull the wool over them, and
It's
it's like
Aespa Efron?
it's not
yeah.
fair.
And if you search Boa's history, they also kept doing that to Boa. Even
Mm.
till now, I don't know what's keeping Boa in SM, but like in
Legacy.
Boa's caliber of talent, and like she should be having like at least two comebacks a year, But
Yeah,
like,
They don't
And,
do very well with their.
and don't even get
I
me
feel like
started with
that.
FX, because like that would take a whole hour of conversation about FX. Anyway,
They do.
so
Regarding SM as a company like withholding talent on the new Aespa mini album, I liked it, but I think they are better than that
Mhm.
album, the mini album. I think the
Mhm.
production uh, quality was rushed or something
Mhm.
because
yes, yes,
I was like,
that's.
man, it just doesn't hit. Like none
It
of the songs really hit. Because
it
my
just
favorite
didn't
song on
seem
there,
natural.
yeah, it didn't feel like what you would really expect from Aespa, but I liked a couple of songs on there quite a bit. But
Yeah.
I
as far
posted
as
this.
like mixing goes, I was like, there's no bass. I'm like, oh, I can't feel it.
Yeah.
They had this picture collage of like the four members at Cons. Is it
Mhm.
Canes or Cons? But I was, and I posted on Facebook. I was like, "Oh, I wish your title tracks are as beautiful as you are." Cause like
Yeah.
they always
I
hype up like, "Oh, Karina's hair is like white in this comeback. Oh,
yeah.
the jacket photos are so beautiful." And then they came up with a song, and I was like,
Yeah. Spicy's not. It's better than some of the most recent ones, but it's still not
"It's
like
like
I don't think
seriously,
it's like tapping their potential,
what
and
do
like
you
they just
remember
keep doing
from
the
Next
same
Level?
thing.
I'm on the next level. That's it. What do you remember from Savage? Don't you know I'm a Savage? That's it.
Those are my two favorite Aespa songs, though.
I
Even
think it's
So I'm
because
biased.
their concept is so specific.
are
I think they were trying to revive like the EXO concept, which is like too specific, and if you keep them confined into this box, it just becomes really corny. Like having to talk about Kwangya, having to talk about like their novice a lot, like actually like physically integrating it into their songs, like they're going to outgrow it. It's the same thing with like Red Velvet having to constantly do like the cute concepts when Irene is already like over 30. Like there's like no basis, and there's just it's like limiting the potential that all of like the members have, because I thought like when I heard about Aespa for the first time, I was just like, oh, this is like someone to look out for. But for me, it just seemed like they were reacting to YG and how
mm-hmm.
Blackpink's success was, because they have it's a four-member group. And so I was just like, oh, so it's like SM's just reacting, and that's why Super M exists. That's why GOT exists. Like that's why NCT exists, and it's like not fair to the idols themselves, because now you're putting them in a box, like you're trying to shove them in a place that they don't fit.
I didn't watch the spicy MV, but like, are the AE still around? Like their AE counterparts?
Not in that one.
See, they're like slowly like dropping them off.
Yeah, cause
What did
in
they eat?
they did a pre-release to the EP, and it was like it's like Welcome to My World, and that's where the novice was. But then in Spicy itself, they deviated from that, like the AI alter ego. So I don't know what happened from the pre-release to Spicy, but
I remember before Aespa debuted, they were talking about that AI like thing, and I was so uninterested that I didn't even care about Black Mamba. I was like, I'm not gonna listen to it. I don't care. But then I listened to it. I'm like, all right, it's pretty good, but
yeah.
I think Next
Black
Level was
Mamba was like a hot mess. It was. It had no hook. It had no proper transition. It's like, remember when I Got a Boy by Girls' Generation came out and we hated it, and we hated it because it sounded like a mashup of like three songs.
Mhm.
But we eventually liked it because like you got into it, because like, and you have like, oh, it's Girls' Generation. You already know them. They can pull this off, and they did. And then they had the charms to like pull it off. But Espa with that debut song, I'm like, huh?
It took me this long to warm up to it, and it's still rated 3 stars in my playlist. Or it's actually not in my playlist.
Deserved.
It's like it's like the biggest focus now for a lot of like the fourth gen groups is not having like, I guess, their own kind of sound. It's just kind of like bam, like we need something that's like hard hitting, just like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like slap you in the face, rather than like fleshing out a very good concept that every member is aligned on. Like this is the kind of music that we want to do. This is the kind of music that we want to reach out to the fans and like connect with like Aespa's concept. It's like really hard for them to be relatable, and that's why they're like low key falling into obscurity. Is because like it's hard to relate to something that doesn't exist, and that's kind of why like EXO also dropped the whole alternate parallel universe where
They
like
have superpowers.
members
Like,
have like the
tell,
powers and then
yeah. Huh?
it was just a mess.
Woo.
And I'm glad that after like Chris left, like they stopped doing it.
I think the last time they used it was overdose. Am I right? Was it
I think
overdose? Because that's the last time they were complete, like 12, right? That's the last. Is it the overdose or the Eve?
I thought
Was there a
I
release
thought
after
Chris
that?
already like Chris already left by that point. I thought Wolf was the last time Chris was there, but it's not like we really count him as a member anymore
Overdose
because
is still actively participated in. But like, yeah, for me, my take on SM right now is like they're this giant conglomerate company with like a lot of resources, a lot of money.
mm-hmm.
It's like the old guy from Squid Game. He has a lot of money. He's bored and doesn't know what to do, so he creates Squid Game just to entertain himself. So for me,
Spoiler alert.
SM artists are like participating in this giant fucking Squid Game, where like FX is already dead at the back. It's
I'm
like
gonna look
I mean
up and see.
that's why they lost their blue chip status because their relevancy is just
it's like
falling.
SM's downfall is SM. SM is butchering themselves in so many ways, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's
Oh,
very sad.
they had Super Junior. I'm looking up a
Yeah,
list right now of SM groups.
they have
there's not
Super
that many
Junior,
active
yeah.
groups.
Yeah, Super Junior is one of the guy groups that I really enjoy. I listen to all their music, and uh, I recognize a lot of these guy groups on their page here, but
Hmm.
I've listened to most of the music from the, girl groups and stuff.
They had a
And
girl group called CSJH The Grace, where Stephanie and like Dana. There's like a four-member girl group.
Hmm.
Justice, can you look it up? CSJH.
I've never heard of them.
yeah,
CSJH. Did you see it?
CSJH,
The Grace.
The Grease. That's a very interesting name.
The Grace. Yeah, I found it.
Yep. What company are they under?
They are under SM.
See? And no one's heard about them. Cause,
Yeah, I've never heard of
Sure.
them.
Cause like, they were like, they released like two songs, but they're all good. They're all good vocalists. They're like,
Hmm.
what do you call this? Speaker and ladies code where like all members can hit high notes.
Hmm.
No one's like what do you call this? A baggage. No one's just like a
Hmm.
visual eye candy.
Ah,
Everyone
I
can
see.
sing. So I think that's where
Everybody's
they.
just there for decoration.
Yeah, I think that's their answer when M when CCM MBK, TR's company had like Sia and Davichi, who are really good like ballad vocal power groups. So I think that was when SM was like, oh, we're gonna have CHJH the Grace, who are all vocals.
I know the Beachy, but what was the other one? Sia?
The Sia and the Vici. Yeah.
I know the Beachy.
Yeah, because they were
Uh,
like they were like the group that was like had like were bringing the money to CCM, but they were
mhm.
dancing. That's why CCM made Tiara. Tiara was like their dance K-pop idol girl group.
Mm.
I like some
Mm,
Tiara. I'm
yeah.
picky in my 2010s music selections because it's kind of like, a little bit too heavy on the EDM scale, the
Speaking of
And
CEOs who makes bad decisions, CCM's Kim Kwang Soo or MBK's Kim Kwang Soo was like one of the. Woo! Do you remember DC all the things that he did?
No, you're
So
gonna have to
first,
refresh.
he was regarded as like the Midas of K-pop. Like, oh, everything he touches turns into gold because like he
Mm-hmm.
discovered Yangpa, Davichi, Sia, and Choi Sung Sung, which is Supernova, right? And then Tiara was like his biggest like uh creation because like Tiara went to become this globe K-pop sensation. Like there was a time like Tiara songs were charting better than 21 and SNSD, and that's no joke. Like to beat
Mm-hmm.
SNSD and 21 from a Nugu company was like a big thing that time. So their CEO was
Mm-hmm.
regarded like, oh, he had the Midas touch. But, with great power comes great responsibility. And he went like nosedive downhill from from adding like because like there were like
Members.
twins. He added Hwayoung in
Mm-hmm.
Tiara, and then Hyoyoung she was put in co-ed school, which is like my favorite group. It was like the first like card, like card, but
Mm.
like it was like 10 members, 6 boys, 4 girls. They had 2 songs,
Oh, jeez.
and then but like the girls eventually ventured out on their own as Five
Mm-hmm.
Dolls, and then the boys become Speed, and
I know Red Dolls.
yeah, and then yeah, he kept making one bad decision after the other. He added one more member to Tiara, which was Arum, who was like, oh, what was the latest news about her? Oh, she got pregnant and she had a baby. But before that, the news about her, oh, she was possessed. She was being used by a shaman. I was like,
What?
yep, those were the news about her. I was like, girl.
Oh.
That could have been a concept.
I feel like it's just weird when you add a member post debut. Like it just you're forcing a puzzle piece that doesn't fit, and it's just weird. And that's why I'm like when with like Red Velvet when they did that too with Yeti, it was just weird.
Yeah, I was like, why
Like
did they just like put Yeri in the first place? Why? What was the logical 100%
yeah.
concrete reason why didn't they put Yeri? And then when I see happiness with all 5 of them, it works. It doesn't feel like oh
Mm-hmm.
someone had less lines. No, it just felt like oh those should have been Yeri's lines all along. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
and the choreography was much better with 5 members for happiness for me. It was
Yeah.
better with 5 than 4. So I was like, what was the reason? SM kept this
Yeah.
oh, and then like so people got scared because they're like, oh, they added Yeri, so they're adding more members.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there was like that fear from fans that they were gonna
Mm-hmm.
add more members to Red Velvet, and like we just want to say hi to Chloe. I'm sorry, I forgot to. If you want to join the stage,
Oh.
just use the wave hand and like I'll put you in the group or chat about it. That if you want to join the stage, then I'll put you here. Again, thank you for joining. We are now 5 people. This will be uploaded later on YouTube as a podcast, so don't forget to check it out later. Tell your friends about it. Going back, there was fear on the fan side when they
Mm-hmm.
added Yeri that they were gonna be adding more members. So SM had to really like an official statement like, "Oh, Yeri's the last." Yeri was like
Yeah,
the,
because the age gap between her and Irene was just already crazy.
but
Like I don't even remember.
but there was also said like, "Oh, so now you're saying Yeri's the last one. What now with the SM rookies, like the girls? You
Mm-hmm.
some people were already invested on those girls. They were looking
Yeah.
forward
They locked them in the SM dungeon.
dungeon. Some
That's
of
what
them left,
happened.
right?
Yeah.
Esther, an Esther girl. I don't remember. Nami, Hami, Hap,
Mm.
Yami, or I don't know. She had like that name, and like there were so many SM rookies that, especially on the girls' side, that just like disappeared. And then
Yeah.
regarding like adding and removing members, for me it works with after school. Because after school was a girl group who
Mhm.
in their debut said, "Oh, we're gonna be having this graduation system." So fans were already like prepared to see members
Mhm.
graduate and leave. So that was okay. If you said to your fans if during the debut that they're gonna have this graduation system, then that's fine. But don't just like out of nowhere, oh, we're pulling out Sungchan and Shotaro after you invested your time, your
Yeah.
money, your energy on
Yeah.
them. We're pulling them out and putting them in another boy group. That's total whack. So, but like,
With the amount with the amount of members that NCT has, they could have had three separate solid groups. And
yeah,
that's like the upsetting part with their own distinct styles. Cause like even with like the subunit Dojejang with their like quote unquote debut as a subunit, like you could just tell like SM has the capability of having cohesive thoughts and cohesive bodies of work. It's just that they just don't want to put in the time and the effort to do it.
yes. Even Girls' Generation, up until now, there's, aside from Tetiso, no subunit, others from others. And
Mm-hmm.
the way they're like disrespecting like solo works, like Hyoyeon would put out really good songs like Dessert and
Mm-hmm.
what was that? Deep was so good, but like the way they're promoting Hyoyeon is just like so bad. Even the Super Junior members, like the only subunit from Super Junior that's still alive is DNE. But Super Junior was the first boy group to have so many subunits. They had Super Junior Happy,
Mm-hmm.
Super Junior KRY, Super Junior Trot, Super
Yeah.
Junior. Yeah, they had so many subunits, and then they all
Cause like
disappeared.
yeah. Cause like they were like the biggest group like in
Burst,
numbers for the
yeah.
time. Wasn't it like 11?
13. I think 13.
13?
If you add Hanggang,
Mm-hmm.
And Kiboom, and Zumi Henry, because they still have Super Junior M.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if Justice would look into Super Junior was like the first boy group who had like the subunit system. Really like, especially Super Junior Happy was for me was my favorite subunit because like they had this like the pajama party song and like the cooking song, and it was like the goofy side of Super Junior into a
mm-hmm.
song. Which is like Super Junior is known to be like this like Samchon uncles who are so funny, and I think that those two songs really like incorporates what they are as like
Mm-hmm. And showed personality
it
and
showed
a lot of
personality. Yeah,
personality.
that's the statement. And hi to Shuta Kim Soonbek. Hi, if you want to join our stage, kindly comment on the message, then we will put you on the stage. Okay. And next is comebacks this week. Have you watched any music shows? Justice, Nici?
I've been watching Enhypen's comeback and I've been listening to the EP on repeat
Is it good?
because it's so good. Cause okay, so what Bite Me is what NCT's favorite vampire was trying to do. But like it's when you actually like commit to the concept and you just take it all the way.
So
I think it's like
Enhypen is the one who executed the vampire concept like on a
like
Twilight level.
literally like it's like if you watched all of like the teasers, if you watched the music video as well, like and even their concept photos, it really they really characterized and embodied like the vampire concept. And like and Hypen is a very interesting group in the sense that it's like a B lift, so it's like one of the subsidiaries of Hype. Um, and they're definitely experimenting just because like based off of like some of their older songs, like this one was definitely they were playing a character, they were playing a role, and somehow it like get like connects to their overall storyline. I've just recently gotten into NHypen, so I have to like actually watch it and like figure it out. But like the Bite Me was really good, and I really liked if you watch any of their stages, they actually have female dancers from like start to finish in a sense, like almost the entire time they're dancing with these female dancers, and it's really nice and refreshing in a sense.
But
Hmm.
okay, but just this, I wanna get your input. Did you ever like listen to N-Hypen song? Cause like I'm giving this platform to Nici because like I've listened. I only know what N-Hypen song is. There's only one N-Hypen song I like, and I'm not dissing N-Hypen not because I like. It's not that I don't like them. It's just like I have so much on my plates, and I think I'm still finding the time to get to know. So I only know Fever. Fever is the only N-Hypen song I know. But I'm trying. I want to try to get into them, but like
Hmm.
you know, because like before N happen, I still have to get into Stray Kids. I don't know much of Stray Kids. I don't know much of 80s. So I still have a lot of researching to do with those. Justice, how about you? What's your take on N hyphen? Have you heard of them? Have you seen them?
Justis, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Beb.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so I was talking the whole time. I'm like, oh, I guess you don't hear me. But no, I was asking Nici, like, give us some recommendations for Enhypen starter pack.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
well,
know.
okay, so the one of the reasons why I really like NHypen is because they have a very versatile and diverse discography. They don't for a three-year group because they debuted in the pandemic in order like to be able to even achieve like world tour um with like essentially like a ghost audience is very fascinating to me. So Fever is a good one. A lot of people wouldn't say like their debut song for me was really good. It was refreshing because it showcased more of like a lyrical um approach to a debut instead of like the hard hitting stuff like I mentioned earlier, like that fourth gen groups are usually doing. Um if you want something with like a little bit more rock edgy kind of feel, then definitely listen to One in a Billion. I think One in a Billion is actually for their webtoon. Like a lot of like all of Hybe's groups have a webtoon on webtoon, and
Hmm.
they all wrote like a song for them. But One in a Billion is good. Bite Me is very good too. Like their most recent comeback. Uh,
That was the first one that popped up whenever I typed in their name on YouTube.
yeah. The stage is really good too. Bite Me is really good. Supreme Boy is on it. So Supreme Boy has been with Hype slash Big Hit for the longest, like since like the garage days. There was a little like some sus things that people have said about him, but I guess like he's turned over a new leaf. I don't know because he's still sticking around, and he sometimes writes for like Tomorrow by Together and Hypen, and he helped write with it, and it's very experimental. Like you'll think the song's going one way, but then it goes another, but not in a very confused way like how NMix like first started with like
Oh yeah,
the two different songs and like they're like completely polar opposites and they just like
yeah.
smash them into
I
one
think
song
their
like
world record's like three songs playing at the same time, and you're just confused the whole time.
yeah
I
no
like
but
some of
like
their music, but I
yeah
think we need to wait and see what else they can do.
But
I
If
definitely like
Justice
Love Me Like This.
has spare time aside from the starter pack song, just watch the reality show Island
Mm-hmm.
so
If
that
you
you
want to
would
get like their
yeah
personalities.
to know them and why they were chosen out of all the contestants.
I don't even
Just
remember
don't
how
get
many
invested
contestants
with the
there were.
members who get eliminated. Just that's another heartbreak that you have to get over
Yeah,
with. But like the chemistry
Did
that
you
ended up,
cry ugly tears?
you're gonna cry.
yeah, there was a lot of crying, especially on like what episode was that? Like I think the last one because that's where they announced who's gonna be part of like
Mm-hmm.
the boy group, right? And so many members were like so many fans were invested with like the others who should have been their take
Hmm.
on who should have been, but like you
I
know,
believe some of the trainees from Island did debut in the
other.
Japanese group and team,
Hmm.
which they're also really good too, and they have a comeback in June.
Was there a
Their
member?
first
Was there
comeback
an
in June.
island member who debuted with Tempest? Is
I
it
don't know.
Hanbin?
I didn't actually watch Island. I know my sister did, but
Yeah, I didn't watch it,
I'm
but
not
like
sure.
yeah, that was what that was like super hyped because it's from Hybe, so it was super
Hmm.
hyped. It was like, oh, this is gonna be BTS's and TXT's new baby brother group. So it was
Yeah.
so hyped, and it was during the pandemic, so no one had that better to do than to watch that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good show too. And regarding Enhypen's issue with the Bite Me choreography, so did you watch the stages? Did they really like fix it? So what was original versus the modified? So what was the big difference then?
I've only I've been trying to check on like a daily basis what's going on because like I always love watching stages. It gives me something to look forward to at the end of the workday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't. For me, I really like watching stages just because then it gives me a better idea of like what the concept is holistically. And as a dancer, I just like watching the choreography. So I didn't see any difference, which is I think is personally good. Like they're gonna stand their ground on the whole situation
What
because
was the
like there's no
controversy?
It's
so
like the member
Korean
goes to
fans.
what's the step? Explain the step to
So
Justice.
so in the chorus, there's a part where it's just like come here and get some, and then it's just like just kiss me and bite me. And the part is like there's like female dancers during this part, and like there's a part where like the female dancers actually like put their hands around their neck. Um, and it's just the whole idea of like the song is pretty provocative, and then there's female dancers, and so like right now there's like this whole controversy, well not necessarily a controversy but like a
Drama.
war between between the K engines and then the I engines, so it's like literally like Korea versus everybody else
Mm.
when it comes to the choreography because the K engines are trying to like they're boycotting in front of Hive to get rid of the female dancers and to get rid of
Oh,
their part in the choreography. And as a reaction to that,
for a song that's
the
already provocative?
yeah, and like
Hmm.
the international fans, once they saw that like they bought like this LED board and had a message that had like a PSA, it's like PSA, get rid of these female dancers. Within like 30 minutes, they gathered enough money to make an opposite, like an opposing LED board to block the original one. And it was just crazy. Like I usually never go on Twitter, but I decided to like log on to Twitter that day and I saw that trending. I'm like, I'm gonna shut down now, right now. This is why I don't go on Twitter. Because it's just like this is ridiculous. There's like instead of like wasting like this is what I really hate about like sometimes like with like the fans is
Mm-hmm.
that they wait like they like to waste their breath on things like that instead of supporting the artist and doing what they need to do to get them the wins because like a lot of like artists will like not the artists like a lot of the fans will complain about it's like
Yeah.
oh they deserved more, they should have done this, they should have it's like they should have won this X Y and Z award, like they should have won a day song, but it's like after the artist releases the music it's out of their hands. It's up to the fans at that point. Like it's kind of like it's now it's your turn. Like you have to stream, you have to promote it
That,
because like the artist has already done so much
that's
to
kind of how
release
I
it.
felt whenever that whole Luna thing went down. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wait, there's a album that people are boycotting. Like, I wanted to support it, even if the company sucks. Like,
Yeah,
that's their dream. They want to give us the music.
yeah,
I wanted to hear it.
yeah. The company sucks because like I feel like Luna would have done really well if they were able to execute what was the plan to begin with, where they were supposed to during the pre-release, like the pre-debut, release a girl each month, and then there was like that hiatus, and that's when like they lost the momentum, and
Mm,
they just like people started to lose interest because it wasn't paced because people had the expectation. There was an expectation that it was gonna follow it, and when they started to deviate, that's when they got derailed. And it was just very interesting because I remember being in my dorm, just watching everybody's like individual music videos and listening to what this is their individual style. So that's what like the where the intrigue comes in because it's like there's 12 girls with 12
yeah.
distinctly different styles. How are they going to all form a singular cohesive group, and what's that going to sound like? That's where the intrigue was going to kick in, but
Hmm.
unfortunately like the company sucks.
Company
Yeah, this
sucks.
company,
That's
they made some
that's the
amazing
theme
music
today.
though.
It's
It
never the
was
idol, it's
wild.
always the company.
I
They helped
remember
turn me into a K-pop fan.
I remember Luna Odd Eye Circle, right?
Mm.
So they had a fan sign, and my friend was like, "Oh, I got a customer from America that wants her name signed on the Odd Eye Circle album. Polly, can you do it?" I was like, "I have work that time. I can't." She's like, "Just take your lunch break, go to the fan sign, go back to your work." And that's what I literally did. In a span of like 45 minutes, I said to my boss, "Oh, I'm gonna be a little late back. I have to do something." She's like, "Yeah, okay, but you have to be back at least,
Ooh,
within the next hour." I was like, okay, took the train, went to the fan sign. It was like in a bookstore. It's like in a Barnes and Nobles,
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
Other Circle was there. Other Circle was like Cherry and Kim Lip, and I forgot the other one. I think it was
Yeah.
Hyunjin, and then like, and I forgot whose name was it for, but like, hi, hello, can you say this? Hi, hello, can you say this? Hi, hello, can you say bye? And then I just went back to my job because I didn't want to be late. But it was like that was me first time meeting Luna, and I was like,
I
but
saw
like,
them over in August this past summer, whenever they were in Colorado, and I knew that they probably weren't going to be back, so I was cherishing every moment. And I thought that I don't know who booked that venue, but it was the worst venue I've ever been to, and I've been
ooh,
to a ton of shows. Most of them like not K-pop. This was
Mm-hmm.
the worst venue I've ever been in, and I was actually like anxious, and I was like standing next to the fire exit just in case, because I felt like something could go down in there,
Mm-hmm.
And there was like no oxygen, and everybody was crammed in there like this, and I was just like not
Oh, it
having
was
it.
just like standing.
Yeah, it was general admission, so people were just shoving to the front,
ooh,
and I was I was very uncomfortable in there. And during a part of the performance, one of the girls came out into the crowd, and there was no security or anything. Like anybody could have just grabbed her or something. Luckily, nobody did anything, but
Not
it was
good though.
stressful.
That's not
I was
good.
stressed out for them.
Definitely, I feel like GA is only good for those kinds of artists that populate that kind of environment. Like for example, like Epic High, like for their
mm,
vibe, like that makes sense. For an idol group, that doesn't make sense because like even though majority of us respect boundaries and understand boundaries, there's always like those people that don't have home training, you know? Like they
Yeah,
just don't know how to act. They don't know what to do. And then you've got like the lack of security, you have the lack of like
I'm pretty sure we were not at fire code in there, so that's why I was like
y'all
anxious.
were packed in like sardines.
Yeah, there was no oxygen in there. I felt like I was gonna
Mm,
pass out,
no
and I
bueno.
felt
rough.
bad for them. It
No
was also
bueno.
like 87 degrees in there, no joke,
Shit, man.
and they were doing all the dance moves. 11 of them were
Oh.
there. Two was not there, but I got to see like a pretty complete Luna, which is I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy for it. But I knew that was probably going to be the last time they'd be performing, uh, at least in that same alignment.
Uh huh. Luna is such a waste of talent, a waste of
Mm-hmm.
visuals. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I was tearing up when I saw that, one by one they were leaving. Because, like, with that, that it would be impossible for them to be gathered again. like all 12 of them. Like individually, the girls will be open, like behind closed doors, off cam. You know that they wanna like be together, but like, of course, they're under managers, they're under contracts, under different
Yeah.
entertainment companies now. So there's so many things that has to be considered if they want to like have a reunion or something. But it's just like we were so invested with them at this point that like it's just a heartbreak to see them like end up like this, and I thought like, oh, Luna's gonna be a girl group that's gonna be there for a long time because like they have a good fan base. They have songs bop after bop. Even though
They have
flip
a
that
ton of
wasn't
good
that
music.
flip that wasn't. It was fine. Sure, it's summer. I'll give it a pass. But like it was a good run. It was a good run. The subunits were good. I mean, like I think Love Forever was is still in my playlist. It's still on my playlist,
Mhm.
and I'm like, it's sad.
Yeah, I think all the way up until 2021, they were like one of my top favorites. And then
Mhm.
I guess you said flip that. That was the 2022 mini album. That was the one where I found some stuff I liked on it, but I don't think I loved anything, especially
That's a
loved
shame.
anything on there.
And of course, like the constant, like not giving the line distribution. God, my God, the line
It's hard.
distribution. Like Go On and VV getting like, that's their line. Okay,
No,
so
Literally,
not
they
putting on
have
the
songs that I can
track.
sing. I can sing their parts.
literally, right? They have like 2 to 3
No.
seconds airtime, and I'm like, okay, sure. Anyways, it's so hard to see this groups, these members wasted with wasted potential
Mhm.
that because they are mishandled by companies who are, I don't know, smart enough to make money out of them but not smart enough to maintain them. Not smart
Mhm.
enough to listen to the fans' concerns. I mean, like at this point, some of the fans who are students who weren't making money before are now adults, working adults who can afford merch, who can afford albums, who can afford concerts. And like some companies are doing good because they know that their market is now like 5 years, 6 years into the group. They're like, oh, this college student is now a working class citizen, so he or she can afford any merch that our company dishes out, you know?
Mhm.
So those kind of stuff really like should be in the mindset of a company in order to sustain their groups. I don't know why like some groups just like mishandle their groups and just like let them
Fall
uh
into like the background essentially.
yeah, it's so
It's
sad.
very sad.
So many groups like even G Friend up to this point
R.I.P.
I'm still bitter that they disbanded, and now they won the case against Source Music, so they can keep the
Mhm.
names G Friend if they wanted to. But now it's
Mhm.
up to the members if they want to reunite or something. But
Mhm.
like I don't know, they show on Instagram that they're all girlfriends, they still support each other, blah blah. They do the
Mhm.
challenges of each other's songs, but like if you really are friends, then what's keeping you from reuniting? You have a solid fan base. Yeah, and I'm
Mhm.
like,
I think it's resources at that point since they're not with
because
a
there's so
company.
many
Like,
girl groups who disbands and we know are not friends anymore. Like
mhm.
Miss A, Miss A is like a girl group. Like I will, if I see them reunite in some point in time, it must be because there's like a billion gazillion one involved,
Mhm.
and not because it's the goodwill of their hearts that they want to reunite. No, there's gotta be a lot of money involved. Like Miss A is that group for me because like the fact that they're not liking each other's Instagrams posts is a lot. I don't know.
Mhm.
Compared to like Sistar,
Mhm.
Sistar would be like on a manager's wedding all together singing, or like the first person to like Yorin's post is Soyu. Those kind of small
Mhm.
things, small details that you see
Mhm.
that they kept their sisterhood even after disbanding.
That's
Yeah.
I want to see. Hyoden perform. I'll go to Korea to see her perform.
Yeah, Yorin goes to university festivals. She goes like to events, and she would like give 150% in every performance. She would do the splits. She would do like the high notes every single time, no lip sync. That
High energy.
high energy, high performance. She's like, an underrated Jessie in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
We will talk about that maybe tomorrow about girl groups or performers who are
Mm-hmm.
underrated, reach a peak like Jessie, who was underrated. She reached a peak, then is now on like a plateau, whatever. But like, yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Are you gonna be able to join me tomorrow, Justice?
What time? Same
Same
time?
time, yeah, same time. If you can.
Uh,
I'll be here. If you guys can join me, just feel free to join. Nici, if you're free
okay.
tomorrow night, join
Mm-hmm.
me. If not, I'll be talking to myself again. So, we just would like to thank everyone who passed by. We're sorry if we cannot like put you on stage or anything, but I want to say thank you to Justice for joining me on this hour. Maybe next Friday, we can talk. If we can adjust the time, the topics, but like we had so much like clippable YouTube Shorts moments today that maybe we can I can like edit out. I don't know, but yeah. This will be uploaded to YouTube today for sure. I'm just gonna work out some edits and then um, anything you want to promote, anything your social medias, Justice. Promote anything
Uh,
that you want to promote.
I host a study room on the John app, and it's on Tuesdays. That is in, I guess, America time. It's on Tuesday night. So, is it tomorrow there right now, Holly?
Yeah, it's a
Yes, Saturday,
Saturday
11.
10 a.m.
So that would be Wednesday morning for you guys
Uh
if
huh.
you're looking from Philippine. But
I promise to
uh,
join you this week. I swear to God. I said I will join you last week. Pinky swear I'll join this week.
it was fun. But yeah, I do that, and then I have an Instagram, and Holly's already tagged me on his story promoting this. But I wanted to uh, say what my favorite song of the week was, if there's time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Please, I was gonna tell that. Do you have any like recommendation songs for our listeners that they should listen
my
to?
pick of the week is from the new Dreamcatcher mini album, and it's the third song on the mini album. It's called Demian or Demain. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's excellent. It's not only just like the rock K-pop concept, but it's also got a little bit of funk in it. So
Ooh.
it's pretty fresh. We've had a lot of great songs with Dreamcatcher with the, rock and K-pop mix, and it's been awesome. But if you're looking for more traditional sound, the title track Bon Voyage would be what you're looking for, and I think that's the popular pick. But I like track number three the best.
Okay. Nisi, anything to promote?
Um, I just have an Instagram, honestly. So you tagged me in my Instagram, but also if you just want to see, I don't know, I have a YouTube channel, but like I only have one video, and it's just my audition video. So if you ever want to see me dance, the my Instagram and my YouTube are the way to go. My YouTube's just my name, so yeah.
Any song
Um,
recommendations for our listeners that they should get listen to?
Definitely Bite Me by Hypen, but I my favorite song off of there is it's a tie between Sakon and Bills. But Bills, if you're looking for that like Keshi 88 Rising kind of vibe, Sakon if you're looking for more of like a dark um hip hop like influenced kind of dark song. So definitely check Hypen out because their EP is really good.
Okay, thank you guys. Now I just want to say thank you to both of you for being here, for keeping me company. And my social is that K-pop fanboy on everywhere: IG, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. It's that K-pop fanboy. The song I wanted to recommend is maybe "That Karma" by Black Swan. Cause I,
Mm.
I support the international girls. That Karma
Mhm.
is really a good song for me. It sounds like a Blackpink B-side track, all in all, but like because Fatu really gets a good rap and like the chorus and like the beat is really addictive. And also a shout out to Cards Icky. Cards Iki is so good. It's so good. I can't emphasize that enough. Although I just wish like JSF and BM had more rap parts, but like
Mhm.
I can't complain. It's a card song. It's always good. It's always a bop. Anyways, again to all our listeners, you can join us here every Friday night and Saturday night, Central Time, 9 a.m. 10 a.m. on what do you call this, Pacific time, no, on Southeast Asia time zone, like Manila, Thailand, those kind of time zone hours. But it will be uploaded to YouTube every Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, wherever you are. Again, to all our listeners, please download the Jan app. That's JJAANN. It's on the App Store, on the Play Store. It's also you can use this on your laptop if you want to. It's very easy. You just need a phone number to verify. It's a way to socialize and connect to other people from around the world to find common interest with your friends or random people, and it's a safe space where you can vent out, you can talk, you can share opinions, and it's just a cool way to make new friends. And I made new friends here, like Justice and Nici right over here, who I don't know before this had so much K-pop knowledge, and I'm just so surprised that they talked about K-pop as much as I do. They love K-pop as much as I do. So again, thank you to everyone. Finger hearts, finger hearts, finger hearts. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye. Thank you. See you again
Bye.
tomorrow. Mm.